let's talk about why it is that so many people in my life are now saying they think Harris is going to win. A lot of it's based on women voters. We all know that. If she wins, it's going to be powered by women. And the early vote in Pennsylvania, big Politico story that people are sending around, says early vote heavily women. So that's one thing that people are citing. Then the latest round, and it's amongst the last rounds of public polls, show an edge to Harris. Again, if you go through the methodology of them and you compare them to private polls, you'd say, even though their margin of error, they're misleading because Harris isn't really up in these states. But go ahead and put up the one that's got a bunch of poll numbers on it. This shows polls from Marist, Epic MRA, Emerson. All of them show Harris ahead. Harris ahead in Michigan, Harris ahead in the Silver State, Harris ahead in Pennsylvania, Harris ahead in Wisconsin. Trump, as this tweet says, not above 49 in any of them. Again, is this because Harris is closing strong as undecideds vote? We don't know, but that's part of why Democrats are feeling good. The last Detroit Free Press poll, which I think was included in that batch, so we don't need the other graphic. All of those show Harris up. In addition, her events have been very good. In addition, Donald Trump made a provocative, threatening remark about Liz Cheney. So Democrats are saying he's unhinged. He's going to turn off undecided voters. And finally, she's got a lot of celebrities at her event, which probably is not going to backfire at this stage, and it's building enthusiasm. So, Dan, is this a blue mirage, or is in fact these little bits of data creating not just the kind of hope and a prayer sensibility, but is it possible that Harris is actually moving into the victory here at the end?
Look, anything is possible right now, excuse me, in a race that is this close. I think, you said private data, Senate candidate data still continues to show an extremely tight, if not ever so slight Trump lead, frankly, in almost all three states. But look, there are some green shoots that are beginning to appear. Obviously, I think everyone would agree you'd rather be up in public polls than down. It just creates optimism. It creates excitement. There's definitely the herd mentality that sometimes undecided voters break towards whomever they think is going to win because they want to be with the winner. But you are starting to see that the gender gap, more women are turning out than men compared to 2020 and 2022 in several of these swing states. You are seeing suburban turnout at a pretty high rate, and that is encouraging because Harris, the campaign feels like they're going to win a lot of these suburbs. Of course, the question is the margins. Where are they? And as the Politico story said, you are seeing older voters turn out, older Democratic voters turn out at a high rate. And, the Harris campaign is running ahead with older voters. Should they win them, it would be the first time in several cycles now. So there is some optimism. The other thing that we haven't mentioned is there have been some polls recently that have shown that Black voters may be coming back into the fold for Democrats and that the margins for Harris will be roughly equal to Biden. We haven't thought that would be the case, but obviously if that development occurs, you're starting to see kind of the pieces to the puzzle that could put together a squeaker of a set of victories in the Midwest.
So just to be clear, I'm not hearing from anybody who says Harris is going to win some Sunbelt states. They don't rule it out, but this optimism for Harris is predicated on exactly 270 electoral votes, the Great Lakes path. Sean.
Yeah, well, then let's talk about the Great Lakes path. Trump up 5 per echelon, Trump up 2 per Atlas Intel, both brand new this morning. Wisconsin tied.
We didn't show those because those are private polls that we could have shown those. But
no, I'm just saying. But I want to be clear that there's plenty of information out there. North Carolina, Trump is up 4 in Atlas. He's up 2 in Atlas in Georgia. Arizona, Trump up 4. Kari Lake up 1. Nevada, Trump up 4. So, I guess the answer comes down, and I'm not, I agree with you. I think this is a tight race. I think we can all agree on that. But I'm just saying that, I think when you, not when, I don't want to put this, when the media puts out specific polls, you're going to get a response. So look, I think both sides are looking at information. They know it's tight. This is a get out the vote effort. This is a we've all talked about this. This is where mechanics matter, where logistics matter. Getting out that vote, getting your people to turn out is going to be critical. And we head into these final few days, with each of the campaigns, making sure that they've got all the data on who hasn't turned out, who has turned out, et cetera, et cetera. So it's going to be.
Sean, what about Sean, sorry, I just want to ask Sean two things to follow up. One is, what about the growing sentiment that perhaps Mar-a-Lago is too confident?
I think that it's not. Everyone that I've talked to down there is not that, and it's just, if you've been around Donald Trump, you know not to do that. When I talk to people outside the periphery, a lot of the grifter types, they feel great. They're exuberant.
Those are my best sources, the grifter types.
I'm sure. But I'm just saying that there's a difference between the people at the senior most levels of the campaign are basically warning against this. It's the periphery folks who are getting excited. And so it just depends on who you talk to.